Hey there, guys. Welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 5. Today we're going to switch gears, and this is where we kind of start talking more about what was happening with the British, since they're the ones who end up creating the 13 colonies that turn into the United States. So our focus is going to go away from the Spanish and the little bit that we talked about the French and really focus in on what was happening with the English. So today what we're going to do is actually talk about a local North Carolina deal, and that was the first colony that was created at Roanoke, but then suddenly like disappeared. So I'm going to go through a quick little set of notes with you. So remember to make sure that you're continuing to have your Unit 1 interactive notebook filled in. You can go and do study questions for each day to get that extra credit. That'll be a 10% boost on your test. So you make a 60 on the test, I'll give you 6 extra points. You make a 70 on the test, I'll give you 7 extra points. So the better you do on the test, the more extra credit you even get. We're going to review just a few notes about early English colonization and Roanoke. Then you have an activity which I think is really fun, which is a create a colony activity. You're going to do that and submit it. And then you've got the opportunity to submit a video to get some extra credit on that assignment. So I'm just throwing extra credit at y'all like crazy right now, trying to do everything I can to get you to have the best grade possible in this class. So let's get started by talking about Roanoke first. So Roanoke was the very first British colony that was created in the 1580s. So Roanoke Island is right here. So this is North Carolina, right? Here's Roanoke Island right here at the Outer Banks. And this is where that very first settlement was kind of put. But it ends up becoming unsuccessful because there's basically 3 trips that take place. And then on the 3rd trip, the governor has to leave to go back to have supplies. But when he gets over there, there's a war happening between the English and the Spanish at the time. And so he can't get back over to bring the supplies. So when he does finally come back and he shows up, nobody's there anymore. Everybody has completely disappeared and they can't find evidence of like what happened to these people. Did they all die? Did they all leave and go somewhere else? There's a whole lot of theories about this. No definite answers. I've included a video that if you're particularly interested in this, there's just like a little 4-minute, I think, National Geographic video that goes and talks a little bit more about it. It's really, really an interesting thing. If you ever go to the Outer Banks on like a vacation with your family or something, you could always stop. There's a museum there and everything. Like it's really interesting stuff that we just don't know what happened. The only clue was that there was a tree with the word Croatoan that was etched into the tree, which was the name of a Native American group that lived in the Outer Banks. And so there's thoughts that like maybe they went there. There's been a little bit of evidence that maybe that could have happened, but we really just don't know. It took so long for him to come back, and then when he was there, like everybody was just gone. And so when they landed and they started colonizing, it was not an easy task for them to do. It was really difficult. You had to set up space about like where you want to be. There's pros and cons to like everything. So really difficult to do. So what you're going to do today is actually show some critical thinking skills and create your own colony. So based on what we talked about with Roanoke and how it was unsuccessful, you're going to be completing 4 different tasks and creating your own colony in the hopes that it will be successful. When you've completed it, you're going to submit that Google Doc on Canvas. And then you also have the opportunity to receive extra credit. And I think this says 10 points. I think it's actually 20 that I'm going to give y'all. If you finish your assignment and then you turn it in, and you want to get extra credit, I'm going to show you how to do that, because if you make just a brief little video for me and then submit that, which is really easy, and you're going to explain to me why you made the decisions that you made, you do that, you get extra credit on this assignment. So let me back out of here and show you what you're going to be doing for the assignment. So here's our page. We're on Unit 1, Lesson 5. First colony problem, student will be able to analyze the challenges of early European settlers in order to understand the development of American identity. Again, we're talking about why or how we got to be the, English colonists that would eventually become the United States. So your focus is to create this colony today. This is the notes that I just went through with you in case you need to pull them up. I will go over this with you here in just a second. Again, like I said, this is going to give you 20 extra points, not 10. So just disregard the fact that it says 10. And then here's that little 4-minute video. If you just want to know a little bit more about Roanoke, it's a really quick video. I know some of you are like really into learning about history. Some people are, history nerds like myself. So you might find it to be really interesting. But here's what you're going to do. You're going to click here where it says create a colony activity. And then to do this, you're going to open up this Google Doc worksheet. It's going to ask you to make a copy of it. You are obviously going to say make a copy. And then it will open it up. And again, there are 4 different tasks that you're going to follow through on to create this colony. So it tells you here, your directions are that you are about to start your own colony in the New World. You need supplies to make your colony successful. You have a limited amount to spend, and you must purchase enough supplies to last 15 people an entire year. So that's 2 months at sea and 10 months on land. Tells you good luck, and that I hope that I can see by your decisions that you would possibly survive and be successful. So here's the first thing you have to do. You've got to purchase items and that you're going to need to start making your colony. You have a limit of $600. So $600 to spend. And again, remember, you need stuff that's going to last you for a year, 2 months at sea, 10 months on land. So you've got the different items here that you can purchase. And then it goes on to down here. You're going to give a total of how much you spend. You're not allowed to go over $600. You're going to tell me how many of that item you want. So let's say that you want to bring with you 5 guns. I would put a 5 here. 5 times 10, it means that I would spend $50 on guns, right? So you got to think real smart about the things that you are going to be creating or bringing along with you, because you might think like, oh, I don't need a lot of rope, but you're going to be on a boat, and rope might come in really, really handy. I know that maybe you're like, oh, a saw, isn't that great? Or what about beds? How many beds do you need? How many people? You're taking 15 people along with you. So you need to think about the fact, do you plan on having a bed for each person? Are people going to sleep in shifts and you're going to have 1 bed for every 2 people? You got to think of all of that. You can't just be like, I want a bed. You can't have 15 people all share 1 bed. So think critically about the things that you're going to need to have. Task number 2 is that you need to choose the people. So there's 15 of you total. That is you and 14 other people. So you're going to have to choose from the list 14 different people that you want to bring along with you. Each of those people, though, comes with a different point value because of their importance that they might have. So a doctor, for example, is going to be worth 25 points. You only have 100 points total to spend. So you might not want to say, I'm going to bring 4 doctors and me, because then you're kind of screwed. Yeah, you got some doctors, but now you got nobody else. So think about the people you would want to bring along with you, and then put the number of those people you want, and then put the points that you spend. So let's say you want to bring 2 soldiers with you. Again, I would put 2 here. 2 times 12 is 24. Now I've got a little bit of protection because I've got 2 soldiers that are trained coming with me. I just cannot go over 100. Task number 3 is honestly one of the things that I find the most interesting that you do. Now that you have your crew, now that you have all of your supplies, it is the summer and you're ready to get there and settle down. You have to pick where you're going to end up. So you've got 4 different sites to choose from. You need to consider your people that you brought along with you and your supplies that you brought along with you when you're making your decision. And you need to think about the landscape, and it's going to tell you about the pros and the cons of each of these. And then below, you're going to tell me which site you picked, and then give me your reasoning for picking that site. Task number 4 is that now you're there, you've picked a site, you've got your people, you've got your tools. Now it's time for you to decide what you're going to do. So you're going to look at this list of things that need to be done, and you're going to rank them from most important, being the number 1, to the least important, being number 3. So I want you to then tell me, why did you choose numbers 1, 2, and 3 to be the ones that you chose? And why did you put number 10 at the bottom of the list? Is it something that you just don't think is important, or is it just the least important? So give me some information about that, and then you submit it. I really liked assignment. Students last semester really enjoyed doing this. I think it's a really, really interesting one. When you are done with that, if you want to get that extra credit, I'm going to come back here and click here. So this is optional. You don't have to do this, but you can create a little extra credit video, because this is a good way. I don't get to see all of you guys, so it's a good way for me to get to know you as well. So in an effort to have more interaction with you and get to know your personality more, I'd like you to take some time to create a short little video telling me about your colony. What decisions did you make? Why did those decisions, why were those decisions important to you? Why did you pick to live where you lived? Why did you pick the people to bring with you that you did? So you're going to make sure you've completed the colony activity first. Then you're going to submit that in this assignment. You're going to submit that on Canvas. Then in this assignment, you're going to click on the submit button up in the top right corner, and then scroll down, and you will see the little area where you usually submit, and there's going to be a tab that says record/upload media. You're going to click on that. When you click on that, there's going to be 2 options that are available. You can record right from there, which I think is the easiest thing to do. Or if you prefer, you can create your video with something else, like on your phone or whatever, and then upload that file. Like that would be fine for you to do if you are a little more techie and you know how to do things like that. I'm not really big on knowing how to do that. I honestly say, like, hey, just make the video like I'm doing for you right now and then upload it. Once you're recording, you can review it before you submit it. And then when you're ready, you're going to click save. Depending on how long your video is, there's no required length. Just tell me as much as you can about your colony. But depending on how long your video is, it might take a little bit of a minute to save. So just let it sit for a while if you need it. And then once it's saved, hit the submit button and click it, and you're done. And you get 20 extra credit points for doing that quick little video. Other than that, if you're watching this video because you were absent, make sure you remember to go down here and click on that lesson demonstrated form and have your assignment turned in, fill out that form, and then I can see that you deserve to have your absence turned into a present. So as always, let me know if you need anything, and I will see you guys in the next lesson. Bye, y'all.